Hello everybody and welcome to a new channel, Dr. Vasil. If you haven't done so, and I know you haven't seen the video, please click that subscribe button below and turn on notifications. I began this channel with the hopes of discussing coronavirus with you, and in this video in particular, I hope to provide a deep and thorough analysis of coronavirus, which will be easy to understand and follow. So with that being said, let's proceed. As of now, February 5th, 2020, there's absolutely nothing to panic about. I know we all have access to the Johns Hopkins website, and it tells there, 25,000 cases, 1,000 survived, around 500 fatalities. These are large numbers, do you understand me correctly? But if we think about something more common and less in the spotlight, such as a common cold, we think about it and it turns out that adults experience the common cold from 2 to 4 times per year. Millions, and I repeat, millions of people are affected by the common cold each year. And out of these millions of people, a few 100,000 die annually. A few 100,000. And that's just the American statistics. That's not even global. So you can imagine how much larger the effect of the common cold is in regards to the coronavirus. Alright, with that being said, let's talk about the virus itself. So one major update is that it proved that it can be transmitted from person to person. This is unlike any other recent viruses which we had, where transmission occurred from a living organism, say such as cattle or pigs, to humans. No, coronavirus has been proved already empirically, in Germany especially, that this virus can indeed travel from person to person in the form of breathing and also through eyes. Yeah, I know. Quite interesting. I've been reading about it, and it's something to do with the conjunctivi. Correct me if I'm wrong. Even being in close contact with a person also has a chance of this transmission. And what makes it tricky is that it can occur without symptoms. Generally, symptoms occur right away for a common cold. And you know that somebody's sick, somebody's getting sick, and somebody's recovering. You can categorize them. For the coronavirus, you don't have to be sick and showing all the full symptoms to infect others, which means that I may seem normal to you, or some individual may seem normal to you, but they still can carry this new coronavirus. And that's what makes it tricky to solve. It's not the end of the world, don't panic, but it's just something to think about. Now, it belongs to the same family of the common cold. So they are in the same family. That's another interesting fact. It originated in a fish market, and once again, a fish market in Wuhan, China. Stories also talk about, there are rumors about the illegal animal trade and how it can be snakes or bats which transmitted this infection. We'll never know. You'll see theories, you'll see people trying to get attention. All we know is that it did start there and then spread across Wuhan, then the surrounding provinces of China, followed by international transmission. This coronavirus has an R0 value of 2.5 to 2.9. Now, what is R0? You may have heard of it around in the news. Technically, it's defined as the basic reproduction number. This means that for a score of 2.5 to 2.9, one person can infect, theoretically, and will on average infect, from 2 to 3 people. And this would be a mild range. For example, MERS, I believe, MERS had a very high value, and the Spanish flu That influenza, it had a huge number, like 14 or 15. So this one is just 2.5, 2.9. It's infective, don't get me wrong, but it's not the worst it can be. Now, if you ask, so okay, the common cold and new coronavirus belong to the same family. What makes them so different? And in fact, there's not much which makes them different, except that I've read that the new coronavirus comes with more exaggerated symptoms of the cold, you know? So, pneumonia, so instant runny nose, and a very exaggerated cough. It really targets the respiratory system of the person, and those who are weak in respiratory terms, such as infants and elderly people suffering from respiratory diseases. Those are the targets. Those people are the most vulnerable, which is why out of those 490 cases we see on the Johns Hopkins website, those 490 deaths, the majority are infants and elderly people. Last but not least, one more interesting and important fact you need to know is that the coronavirus has an incubation period of around 7 days average and 14 days max. What does this mean? Is that, well, first of all, let's look at the internet definition, and then I'll explain it to you in more simpler terms. Incubation. Okay. Check Hatch's pregnancy. Yeah. Not interested. No. Incubation period is technically the development. Here, I found a medical one. The development of an infection from the time the pathogen enters the body until signs or symptoms first appear. There you go. So it is the duration. 7 days is the average duration which is required for a person to physically show that they are sick. So they get sick, don't show symptoms for 7 days, and then they start showing symptoms. And remember that during those 7 days they can infect, etc., etc. Alright, well, with that being said, and also the maximum incubation period is 14 days, and 7 days is just the average. 3. Vaccines. So many people ask about vaccines, when they're gonna go out. You know, where are the vaccines? I mean, we're living in 21st century. And they do have a point. We do live in 21st century. But regarding the vaccines part and the rushing, I think it's a little bit too early. And it's definitely too early. First of all, we need to understand that vaccines usually take approximately 3 to 10 years to make. 3 to 10 years. Yes, this may seem like a lot, but you have to keep in mind a lot of things are being done. There are the development and research stages, the testing stages, and then, then the effects are visualized, and beta testing is performed on a few people, test groups, and then it's released to the public. Because when a vaccine is made, it has to be 100% safe for the public to consume, to be inserted into their bodies. There is one already invented as of the moment, and it's going through testing right now. The earliest we will have it, I would approximate it to be from 8 months to 12 months. But wait, Vasil, you just said 3 to 10 years. I know. But for this particular new coronavirus, since the World Health Organization made it, an issue, a global health concern, things are going to go faster, budgets are going to be large, and hopefully this time frame will be as minimal, as small as possible. So vaccines are coming, but don't expect them to be tomorrow or in a week. It's going to take half a year for sure. Take vitamins instead. Don't participate in any of those fancy anti-new coronavirus medications because they don't exist. Okay, first of all, it's people trying to make business desperately using the situation. So don't go to the store and get and coronavirus. Helps you get rid of all the symptoms, feel like a brand new person. All of that, just save your money, please, for the sake of goodness and humanity. Save your money. Uh, if you run a business like that, I mean, do what you have to do. But if you're seeking for treatment and you see those in the stores or somewhere offered by a person on the street, you know, something fishy, just skip it for now. Get the official vaccine once it's out. Now, on the news, the most recent news article was that a 6,000 people carrying ship has been quarantined. And I'm not sure how to respond to this. I understand the reason for the quarantine, so as not to expose these potentially sick people to the public. But then, on the other hand side, if you're containing 6,000 people together on this cruise liner ship, the chances of them infecting each other is greatly increased. So I'm debating whether it will be even better just to send the people home. I understand what you're going to say. You're going to say, yeah, but they're going to come in contact with people. True. But you could give them masks and you could put them on house arrest, meaning that they just go home, log themselves in their home, ask for people who are not in this risk to bring groceries once in a while, lock themselves up for about 7 to 10 days. Remember the incubation period? So the amount of time for symptoms to appear. So yeah, just let them go home, wait 7 days, see if they're really sick or not, and then they're free to do whatever they want. But they decided to quarantine them. And also, fun fact, Australia is doing a quarantine too on Christmas Island. Lots of people just, got this dream vacation of visiting beautiful Christmas Island. Yet the conditions are not too nice based on recent news, but we'll see. That's another isolation. That's an isolation topic on its own. And finally, two more things left for us to discuss, my friends. One is tips on what to do for prevention. First of all, wash your hands with soap, with lots and lots of soap. Carry a hand sanitizer with you. Get as many germs off of your hands as frequently as possible. Don't overdo it. Don't do it every hour. But do it regularly. After you do, before you eat, before you go to bed, right when you wake up. Make it a habit. Even when the coronavirus is over, knock on wood, it'll still be a good habit to have. Tip number 2 is keep children, especially infants, and the elderly longer at home. And do chores such as, doing the groceries, laundry if you go outside of home by yourself, if you fall within the middle age group. This is because children and elderly are more vulnerable than we are, and they really need the safety at this particular time. Avoid large, crowded public places. Pretty straightforward. The more people, the more chances somebody is carrying it and can pass it over. And please don't get a mask, okay? I see lots of people. In fact, I'm from Canada, from Toronto, and I went to 3 Shoppers Drug Marts and 3 Walmarts, those big stores. And all of them were sold out of masks. And that was about a week ago. All of them completely sold out. Even hand sanitizers, there was 0. Hand sanitizers, I understand, it's to keep away the infection, good call. But masks, a mask, like a doctor mask, it won't save you, okay? If you're using such a mask to prevent getting infected, it won't help you. Because once again, it can even pass from the eyes to the eyes. And they have holes here, like these masks. So it can easily enter through your airway too. It is good to have a mask if you are most likely infected with the virus. So a mask is good if you're infected and you don't want to spread the infection, rather than trying not to be infected. So that's what I want to say about masks. Another business, prices are inflated up to 5 times now. You get the point. People buy masks because that's what you see in these Hollywood flu movies. But in reality, if you want to get a good mask, get those N90s, special flu masks. But still, better just stay home, don't waste your money, and don't panic, don't worry. Everything ends up in a vaccine sooner or later. And it's a topic which is currently looked at by lots of people. Okay, and finally, for several common questions. One, I've been asked these, by the way, in the private chat on Twitter. Like, are we going to survive? Will the human species cease to exist due to a growing pandemic? Okay. Whoa. Stop. Stop. I think this is too deep and too exaggerated. Honestly, I think that what will cease to exist is the stupid trust in these statements. Okay, that civilization is coming to an end, that a huge pandemic. I even saw a funny one like Bill Gates together with, I don't know, somebody else made this graph 5 years ago saying that humanity's biggest threat is a pandemic, and now it's coming true. Watch. Please, don't panic. Humans will not cease to exist, okay? This is a crisis which is very big and growing fast because it is in a very dense population known as China. And transmission it's unstoppable. It's already out there. What we can do is moderate it and work on a vaccine. If you are showing symptoms of a cold, don't all of a sudden start screaming and running around the house now saying, "Oh, I got coronavirus, I got..." No. Most likely 99.9999%, it's just a common cold. It's winter outside. That's the most common, no pun intended, common time to get a common cold. Alright? So let's get that straight. Question number 2, when will there be a vaccine? Once again, the entire world is working on it. It will take much less time than 3 to 10 years. So around 8 to 12 months, that would be a realistic timeline. Question number 3. Is it okay for me to receive shipments from China? And there was a comment on another post by a person translated from Russian. It says, "I decided to get rid of everything Chinese in my house. Now I'm standing naked in my empty living room." Point made is that we do depend on China, and we do need imports, and we do need the wonderful technologies which are provided to us by the Asian continent. But these worries about, is it okay for me to receive shipments? Definitely okay. Let's think about it. Packages from China, right? Let's even imagine a coronavirus on that package. Packages from China take quite some time to get to where you live, especially if you live in another country. And ideally, the incubation period, the survival period of this, bacteria, of this coronavirus, is 14 days. Now, a package isn't really the best conditions for the virus. So, theoretically speaking, located on a box without any nutrient supplement, without any ideal temperature and host, that survival rate will be about 1 to 2 days maximum, okay? So when you get that package, don't even worry about there being any virus, okay? Because they're living, right? They need to eat. They're just like us people. So nothing to worry about. Keep on ordering things from China. Preferably not Wuhan, of course, but normal shipping, there's absolutely nothing you should be concerned about. And final question is, will vitamins prevent me from getting the new coronavirus? No. If they did, there would be a vaccine already, known as vitamin C or vitamin D. Do take them, of course. Eat healthily. That will definitely lower your risk, but vitamins alone will not act as a 100% prevention. Alrighty, my friends, I hope you enjoyed this video. I will be watching coronavirus updates and will keep on making videos. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe, comment down below what you think. I answer all comments, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.